Yeah, what's up? It's your homie Ice Cube. I know a lot of people been wondering, where I've been. I was real active before the election, talking about what's needed, specifically for the black community. About 10 days or 2 weeks before the election, I pushed back, all the way until pretty much now, because I just felt there was a lot of noise, a lot of poison, a lot of people with their own agendas, personal agendas, or party agendas.
Most recently, we definitely have seen Ice Cube talk about the plan for Black America, but what you haven't seen maybe is him actually coming against industry rappers like Jay-Z, LL Cool J, just to name a few. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. I'm gonna let you hear what he had to say on his own account. He's definitely speaking about an agenda going on. And I think there is, I think that there is a group of people that work together to advance their own status, and I think that's always been going on since the beginning of time. But I think he's speaking in code, so let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say as he looks like he's pretty beat. I don't know if this is how Ice Cube usually is, but he seems to be pretty tired. So let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say.
I know a lot of people have been wondering, where I've been. I was real active before the election, talking about what's needed, specifically for the black community. About 10 days or 2 weeks before the election, I pushed back, all the way until pretty much now, because I just felt there was a lot of noise, a lot of poison.
Now next, he really goes in on them very directly, but he doesn't say like the names or anything, but we all know who he's talking about.
Own agendas, personal agendas, or party agendas. And, they really wanted to attack me for what I was doing because it was outside of the line of what they was doing or what they believe need to be done. So when you recognize people really don't want to get to the truth, they just want to perpetuate, their own narrative against you, it was time for me to push back because, honestly, I don't really care who's the president. As you can see, I understand that no matter who's the president, you gotta push them to do things for you and your community.
Everybody's always saying that we don't get our reparations, nobody cares, but then when someone does, we're willing to cancel them and say, now let's cancel them because they're working with Trump. I don't care who we need to work with. This is my opinion. Whoever is gonna make something happen, that's who you work with. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't understand what bipartisan means. It means that it's not about Republican or Democrat, it's about both, everybody. Everybody, it has no political party. Like, we weren't born Republican or Democrat, so let's just be honest, it's a man-made type of system. And for whatever reason, a lot of people are, chiming in, saying what they want to say. But at the end of the day, I think Ice Cube is 100% correct on what he's saying. Now, Busta Rhymes sat down with Fat Joe and talked about Ice Cube and Trump. And let's hear what Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe were talking about on his show.
I'm saying you can't just ask somebody's name and talk disrespectfully and hide behind your little fucking computer. You said shit. You needed to be conscious of how you spoke, because you couldn't speak behind a computer. When you said shit, it was usually being said to someone. And the 6 degrees of separation shit is real. So you also have to be mindful of who you said shit to, because you don't know if it's going to get back to the person you're talking about. And you also don't know how soon or how long it will be before you cross paths with the motherfucker you talking on. And accountability was real.
This is where Busta Rhymes basically talks about these keyboard gangsters, and that's really what they are. I think, a lot of people give Wendy Williams a lot, that at least she has a backbone to be in front of other people and say what she's saying. So let's just go ahead and hear what else he had to say, because back in my day, you couldn't just run around and just say whatever, get back to someone. And because online now, you can just, be wherever you're at, you can't find the person. I actually have a nephew that runs around trolling people, and he just says all this stuff. And, he's only like, I think 10. And his whole thing all day is to go around and troll. Like, people do that, actually, to have fun. So let's just be honest. So who cares what other people are saying? They're nameless people because they won't put their face out there to say who they truly are. They're just behind the computer. And I personally have put my face on this video, so I'm saying this from my own mouth. But let's hear what else Buster had to say.
Well, you might have got your fucking face broken through. And that wasn't such a bad thing, because it made people rethink how they should act and how they should live. And it was called being a little more mindful and a little more respectful.
Yeah.
And maybe if you had an issue with somebody, you would be a little more conscious about who you say it to, and maybe you would be a little more courageous about speaking to them directly, so that the conversation can be a simple one, even if it's to agree to disagree. But nowadays, you see all these people talking crazy. You want to try to cancel a god like him. That man been fighting for our people his whole fucking career. That man is fighting for our people. He's actually going to try to get something for our people. How can you cancel a man that's going to try to get something for our people? Let me ask you one question. Black and brown people, I done lived through, and if you and my age, we done lived through a lot of Democrats and a lot of Republicans being in office. I have not seen the benefit or the advantage of a Democrat or a Republican being in office, because niggas still got killed the same fucking way, no matter which one of them in office. Did this go?
So I just wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about what happened on the recent show with Fat Joe and also Busta Rhymes. There was one interesting thing. I really did not know that he was from the West Indies, but he talked about his story. And if you'd like more details on that, make sure to watch the video coming up next, where he actually dropped some gems for artists. So I think that Busta Rhymes is right. Like, people are so quick to cancel, and who are you to cancel someone else? Like, really?
What's happening, fam? You already know how I get down. Over the last few months, I've been really going deep into this political space. Reading a lot of history, trying to understand how systems work, not getting caught up in anybody's rhetoric, but looking for my damn self, and just trying to figure out why we continue to, flounder at the bottom. What is it? And what I found is that it's systems in place, as we all know. It ain't because, we ain't doing what we supposed to do as black people, because, of course, we all can do better. There's shit that we need to do to clean up ourselves and our community. But besides that shit, the system is fucked up. It's just designed totally. And not only designed, but there's a dedication to keeping us at the bottom of this country. And I don't know if we can count on any parties to get us about the shit, to be honest. So we are gonna have to do a lot of things different as a black community. We have to pool our resources. We have to think about ourselves. We love all the other races of the world, but at some point we got to figure out, how do we get ahead? because everybody's on top of us, but us. Or everybody's on top but us. And the shit ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna survive this. The way it's going. It's just designed that I can't see the future. So we gotta change this shit. Everybody's been mad at me because I haven't been on the fucking, you know, the gravy train of these candidates, you know, especially Joe Biden and Harris. You know, I don't trust none of them. No president has done right by us. So I don't trust none of them. So putting our hopes and dreams behind any of them just don't work. We gotta make them do what we want them to do. And there's only a few ways to do that. Now, I've been making contacts, trying to, talk about these real issues, straight up, I believe the Democrats they've been nice, they've been cordial, so to speak. I don't really see them pushing their policies in any different direction. They're still talking this minority, people of color shit that don't necessarily include us, that don't necessarily include Black Americans, especially descendants of slaves, ADOS, American descendants of slaves. That ain't specifically us, it's everybody. We ain't gonna get shit. Because when you look around, everybody hate us. So we still at the bottom of that. So, I think the Democrats, they got every black celebrity and shit on their team, so they just figure, tell Q to shut the fuck up and vote. And so, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna push the program. We got a program, I'm pushing it on everybody. We also met with the Republicans and shit. They brought us in. We talked to them. They've moved their agenda a lot because of what we said. They put $500 billion on the table, and but who knows? Who knows what's gonna really happen? I just know one of them gonna win, and I don't know if it can really matter to us. We gotta just push whoever is in there, because ain't nobody really solved our problems. People say we can't take another 4 years of this. And black people, we could take anything, shit. Joe Biden, the Democrats, I believe they owe us. Will they do right by us at the end of the day? Who knows? I think the plan they have is they're doing a lot when it comes to safety and police and all this shit, but that dough is thin. Everybody money is thin. We're not gonna get no respect in this country without the cash. We ain't gonna get no respect in this country without having money in our community. It just ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So everybody can be mad at me, pissed off at me. I don't give hey, y'all know what it is. I'm trying to get to the truth. I ain't about to be part of nobody program. Ain't nobody gonna, get me to back down. And if y'all don't want to hear the truth, then that's your, that's kind of a personal problem. Because I'm gonna keep spitting it how I see it, and I think the problem is we're a little too one-sided, and we need to hold everybody to the fire and make sure everybody do what they're supposed to do when it comes to black people, not get caught up in a whole lot of white people business. We need to worry about our own, what's going on with us. And then when we get what we gotta get, then we'll welcome. We gotta make a decision. We gotta push people to do something big and do it right now.
And he's doing something for the black community. I just don't get it. Like, do we want help or do we not want help? So otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to comment below, and thanks for tuning in.